Hello, friends. No doubt a great CV is a tool that you need in order to land your dream job because it gives you the chance to make a memorable first impression on the recruiter and stand out among the crowd and proceed to the next stage. As requested by many people in today's video, I will show you how to write a professional CV suitable for the Australian market by yourself without input from anyone. Going forward, you can enjoy all the enormous benefits that come with it. In case you are new to this channel, welcome to Visa Pathfinders. I am Peter. Don't miss out and join our channel of over 17,000 members. Subscribe, like, and share this video as you would definitely find it interesting. We have added the link in the description and the first pinned comment below. Now let's begin. It's important to remember that big recruiters get hundreds or thousands of CVs for just one job opening and may not have more than 10 seconds to decide whether to call you for the next round or put you in the rejection pile. This is why writing a quality CV can't ever be overemphasized. To that effect, a well-tailored CV is what you need to attract recruiters, which will eventually save you time from applying to tons of jobs and set you apart from the crowd. That's why, first of all, to make the most of your CV, a lot of people do not do what I'm about to recommend to you. Make sure to perform quality research on the industry that you are applying to in order to understand the specific skills that are essential for that role. You will be able to list out the skills in demand for your target role by reviewing 5 to 10 vacancies for the same job role. After this, it is quite important for you to take time to reflect on your own skill set, values, and achievements so far, and how all these align with the job or the company you are applying to. If you are able to do this, it is now time for us to look at how to structure and format your CV. The main thing is that you have to keep it highly professional. If you look at the sample provided to your right-hand side, it's just one color on a white background. You want to make it simple with no fancy fonts and colors, and concise as much as possible by providing only relevant details. Relevant details are those that are applicable to the job role you are applying to. Regarding the length, I want you to keep it to a maximum of 2 pages. No need for a headshot photo, as this can also eat into your limited space. Another thing is to make sure that your CV is easy to navigate by recruiters, and you can achieve this by providing bold sections and make sure whatever you've written is readable by ATS applicant tracking system, which large recruiters use to skim through CVs looking for keywords. And they would usually reject some CVs straight away into the rejection pile before even considering them. In order to keep your CV simple and readable by ATS, simply design it on Microsoft Word. Some people are tempted to use fancy software and some fancy bits. This is not generally acceptable. In order to maximize space, consider simply stating that your references are available on request. Now let's consider what the content of a CV is. A lot of people have asked about how to write a CV that is specific to the Australian healthcare industry. Sadly, the industry is more than anything experience or skill-driven. I mean, it's all about you demonstrating the skills to care, rather than all the qualifications you have acquired. It doesn't mean that qualifications don't matter. In that case, apart from your contact details and professional profile, the next thing the recruiter wants to see is either the core skills or relevant skills you are bringing to the job or your work experience. However, there is something about highlighting your strengths which might make you alter this flow. Take, for instance, if you don't have any work background or experience, you might want to put your education or qualifications first. That is to say, how you arrange this depends largely on putting your strengths first. If you enjoyed this video so far, why don't you click on the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and share with family and friends. By doing this, you will be supporting and encouraging us to do more. Now let's start looking at these contents one after the other while I give you examples. Now, the first thing is that your name has to stand boldly at the top of your CV. A lot of people also put the job role they are applying for or something that summarizes their role so far, like as you can see in the one showing on your right side. I've put the name John Smith which is boldly written, and nursing support worker was just sitting below it. Some people prefer to put this beside their name. Now, the next thing is your address. Of course, if you are applying from the overseas, your full address might not be necessary. However, your email address is important. And regarding your email address, make sure that it is a professional email address. Nothing like superking or beautyqueen@gmail.com and all that. Now, the next thing is your contact number, and remember to always put your country code. You might want to also add your LinkedIn profile link to make sure that anybody can also look you up on LinkedIn and confirm certain information before inviting you for an interview. Things to bear in mind are that you don't have to write your religion, your date of birth, nationality, etc. These only eat into the limited space that you've got and do not in any way put you in a better chance of being invited for the next round of the application. After your contact details, the next thing a recruiter wants to see is your professional profile. Now, this is quite important in the sense that this is what the recruiter will see first, and your aim is to persuade the recruiter to read the rest of your CV. Therefore, use this section maximally to give a summary of your relevant experience and skills. Now, the things not to include are details that are not relevant to healthcare. This also is not a narrative summary of your career, and does not include anything that can be considered as excessive. In writing your professional profile, after you've mastered the things to include and things to exclude, make sure to avoid pronouns. Instead of saying, "I am a qualified and compassionate HC assistant, and I have 10 years experience," make it professional by saying, "A qualified and compassionate HC assistant with 10 years experience in." Now a good information to make sure you wrap in around here are the 6 C's of care, which are 1. Care, 2. Compassion, 3. Competence, 4. Communication, 5. Courage, and 6. Commitment. Among other things, I'm going to provide you with an example of a professional profile. Now, every example I'm providing here is too generic for you to copy and paste. It's just for you to provide an example of what I'm explaining. But the tips I'm providing along the line are generally what you need. Now, a qualified and compassionate HC assistant with over 10 years experience and expertise in neonatal, ophthalmology, diabetic, and psychiatric hospital clinics, as well as community care. Confident providing personal care to children, adolescents, and adults, able to monitor and record vital signs and observations in line with professional guidelines. Takes pride in maintaining patient confidentiality and treating every individual with dignity, offering emotional support and empathy, in addition to practical care. Now this is not far from what you want to write. Okay, so moving away from the professional profile, next is your core skills. When we talk about core skills, this enables the recruiter to see at a glance whether you have the competencies and skills that are required for the available job. So, it's important for you to include at least 9 to 12 keywords. To do this, as mentioned earlier, have a look at some of the vacancies in the job role you are applying for to establish what skills are particularly in demand. As a guide within the aged care industry, you want to think about the 6 C's of care, which are care, compassion, communication, courage, competence, and commitment, plus all the job-specific skills that are needed for the job role you are applying for. Remember, the other time I said that this industry is skill or experience-driven, so your work experience enables a recruiter to identify whether your experience till date aligns with the requirements for the role. So, if you have minimal professional experience in the healthcare sector but have some relevant voluntary experience, you need to have them in your work section. For each of your previous roles, provide your job title, employer name, and date of employment, as you can see in the example provided. It's standard for you to present your work experience in reverse chronological order so the recruiter sees your most recent and relevant experience first. Now, importantly, avoid the temptation of adding all the responsibilities from your previous experience. Only include those that are aligned with the new job that you are hunting for. And if you observe, the recent experience in the sample I've provided here was developed better than the previous. This is usually the case. Don't forget to add your key achievements, and if possible, please put a value. Also, Be ready to explain any employment gap on your CV. For your education and qualifications, just like in any other industry, you should certainly include any qualifications you've acquired, and in this case, most especially those that are healthcare related. For example, a BSc or an ACF. If you've passed GS, also which can show your mathematics and English, you have to include this as well. For each qualification, make sure to state the level. In this case, in the example provided, ACF Level 3 Diploma in Health and Social Care, the name of the qualification and the year you've completed it. Similarly, if you've completed any short healthcare courses, make a separate professional development section as you have seen in this video. So, in summary, make sure to spend time writing a short, high-impact profile. Identify your key skills in the aged care sector. Write out your experience in reverse chronological order and make sure that each role you mention something that you achieved, which are your key achievements. You will observe that I've not mentioned the regular hobbies that most people put on their CV only. Consider to include this on your CV if it is relevant to the job role. And don't forget to check for grammar and spelling errors. By doing all this we have discussed so far, I am double sure that you will attract more interview invitations. Thank you for watching, and don't forget that at Visa Pathfinders we are happy and it is our pleasure to be part of your success story. Until when next we meet, stay happy and stay blessed.